the rear of the house, and what we're planning to do is add this greenhouse to the existing roof terrace that is here at this time. And let me show you, just to help orient you, this is a cross section at the back of the house, and down here is the garden floor, and then the first floor, which has a deck on it, and the second floor, which has a little balcony. And then this is the floor, this terrace here, that this is the proposed arrangement here with this added greenhouse. So that's the basic scope of the.
So you already have access to this space, right? Because of the terrace, the door, or whatever.
Right, exactly. We're going to be, let me just go back to so the existing condition is this over here, which is a door and 2 windows, and we would plan to take out those doors and windows and the intervening brick so that this new greenhouse becomes part of the bedroom that's in there, that's existing. So it's making that children's bedroom bigger. So that's the idea. And just to give you a perspective on where it is in the whole picture of the block, here's a map of the whole block, which is, here's Columbus over here, 82nd Street, 81st Street, and this is our house here. And the addition is this little red rectangle here, which is entirely within the interior space of the block. It's not visible from any public thoroughfare or anything like that. So, and this is what it looks like in reality here. This is the where this railing is. We would be taking out this railing and putting the greenhouse right here. The greenhouse on this side would be butting up against this existing building over here, which juts out farther than this wall of the house. And on this side, it's hard to tell, but there's this apartment building over here has about a 10-foot space from our wall to the to their wall, and so the side of our greenhouse would be right here. So that's the plan for that. And just to show you the floor plans, so this is the existing condition, which is just a roof terrace. And then here we would be doing some demolition of this wall here. And then this would be the final work, which would be this greenhouse right here, making it part of this room. So that's the idea.
And you said this is a single family?
Yes, it's a single family. And they bought the house recently, and we're going to do some renovations inside. You can see here, for example, like redoing some bathrooms. And then at the same time, we wanted to make that addition there.
Right. We have a couple of questions. You want to fire away?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Klari?
Yeah, so I saw this online, I looked at it. I thought I understand what your project is. I thought the presentation was pretty skimpy in terms of the front of the house, the context on the street side, although I know this is the rear side, very skimpy in terms of the donut. And I still think it's quite skimpy, but I just want to ask you to be clear on the let's see, I can't remember whether we're east or west here, because I can't remember which side of the street run. But anyway, looking at the far right,
On the south-
rendering
south
there,
Side of the street, so.
far right rendering, the addition on the building that is abuts to the right in the rendering is, if you're showing, it appears to me that you're showing your greenhouse as slightly deeper into the donut than the full height addition next door, but I think you said that's not true. What's going on that side?
Okay,
It abuts a brick wall on the neighbor's addition. Is
Right.
it deeper than the neighbor's addition?
yes,
Is
well, it is. It matches our addition here matches this wall of the house. So we're just continuing up the same
No, I
plan.
understand I understand that it matches your rear,
Right.
facade,
Mhm.
but the house to the right is what you're proposing. Does it go farther into the rear yard than the full height addition next door? Is it the same depth into the rear yard? Or what?
It sticks out. It sticks out.
It does what?
This, so, whoops, pardon me. Let me move this over here.
Have a picture in relationship to the houses next to it.
So the building next door is, I'm gonna mark it right here. See this red line I've just created?
Yeah.
This is the back of that building next door. So,
Okay,
so this is coming out about 2 feet beyond that, on that level, yes.
okay, so you're jutting out further on that side. The other side that has the apartment building. Let me ask you, what is the depth of your greenhouse, the finished depth from the
Sure,
wall that's being destroyed, demolished to the finished rear?
11 feet.
Okay, you said something about the apartment building next door had a clear, I think you said 10 feet next to you before it hit windows. So I'm trying to understand how your proposed structure would affect or would be in relation to the apartment building and its windows next door, the other
Okay.
side.
I don't actually know, we never have been able to go on their property, so I don't know this exact dimension over here on the apartment building. But you can see that the apartment building, the way it's configured, it's abutting our building for a portion, and then it sets back some number of feet, and then it comes along this way, and this is all filled with windows. And then in this portion right here, we would be continuing our wall by 11 feet. So these windows would be the same as these windows in terms of the relationship to the wall.
Okay, so the windows next door are not lot line windows,
No,
but you would be coming out an additional 11 feet at your third story, or call it third story. You also seem to have a basement,
correct, right,
habitable basement. Okay, thanks.
okay.
Other questions? Yes.
You keep using the term greenhouse. Is this a conditioned space or do you see it as exterior space that's enclosed? Why are you using that term?
Only because of the look of it. No, it's enclosed space. It's completely enclosed. It will be conditioned air, the same as the bedroom that it's expanding. So that's just something that the family has talked about, that it would be a greenhouse feel, have a lot of light coming in. That's all. That's the only reason.
We'll call it a conservatory.
So what are the materials?
Yeah.
What materials are you using?
So
All glass?
the two side walls are stucco, and the greenhouse itself is metal framing and insulated glass.
Can you clarify that? So it's not a total greenhouse, it's a greenhouse on the back facade. The back,
The
but
sloping
the
roof
sides are,
and the
yeah,
rear.
but the sides are gonna be stucco.
Well, on the side next to the small building next door, up to the right, and you're rendering, that it's, it abuts that. So where's the stucco?
Well, they're 2 feet.
Oh, the 2 feet, the two additional feet, I guess.
There's
right?
stucco here, and then there's stucco on the outside over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So I understand that the family might call it a greenhouse, but this is really more similar to like the artist studio model that you saw in like the 1910s and 20s and onward in townhouse conversions, right? It's gonna be like glass windows on the top. Obviously, the space is south, but it follows that same model that
Right.
you see all over New York City in townhouses.
Right, that's true.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's, okay, that makes more sense.
Mhm.
Do
Lovely.
you have a picture of the donut? Do you have any pictures showing before and after in the donut?
We had,
He's
we had the current position.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It doesn't change anything.
We had a drawing, but no photo in it.
Right.
Yeah, no.
I think that's a.
You want like an aerial?
There is no photo.
It's really,
I think an aerial wouldn't show any change though, because it's the exact same area, so it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if I'm just thinking what I'm thinking, like to get a sense of what it looks like.
do you have a date for a hearing?
You
Mr.
want to
Gillis?
get the dog
No.
or a cat.
The dog, yeah.
But,
I was asking if you have a date for a hearing at LPC.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
A hearing date at LPC, sorry about the.
Oh,
math.
yes,
A hearing date?
have you calendared?
Well, I was told that, the hearing date is, November 19th.
Yeah, I think that we'll have a little discussion and then we'll take a vote unless somebody has another question. So, discussion, you would like to, I'm shocked and surprised.
My discussion part is I hate this. Number one, as somebody who used to be co-chair of what was then the Parks and Environment Committee, all of this massive amount of glass facing south is, even with double glazed, triple glazed windows, is hugely inefficient to beat the sun and the heat, and keep it a good temperature inside. But aside from that, it is the greenhouse. I mean, we've certainly have approved or recommended approval of many rear yard additions, sometimes going up more stories than their original rear yard addition, sometimes full width, which this one is. But I can't remember ever seeing one that is so hugely incongruous with the historic or typical rear yard facade in the donut. And it just, to me, it is so out of character with the donut. And I mean, we can't get into the motivation or of the owners or the cost or the use. But I can't support this.
What do you about on 81st Street? That seemed like there was a large structure there. Can you show us the donut again?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, photographs of.
Right, there's a big, apartment building.
It's this art deco.
Oh, yeah. And how tall is that?
I think, I'm not actually sure. I know it's at least 6 stories, but I'm not sure if it's taller.
It's 6 stories,
Yeah.
plus a basement,
The
half
apartment.
basement.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of the rear yard on your phone?
This was like Google Maps.
It looks a little lopsided to me.
Which does. That-
No,
That,
I think it's symmetric.
I mean, it's, yeah,
yeah,
it's
Is it
only
for-
on the other side of the.
One more question, is it for approved glass? Sir? Is
Yes.
it bird-proof glass?
Can you hear us?
You said something. Glass.
Is it bird-proof glass?
Um. Again, you said glass, but I didn't hear the part
Bird,
about.
is it bird proof? I think it's required now in the city, isn't it?
Not necessarily, no.
Maybe not so low.
I don't know. Is it bird-proof glass? We know there's a city regulation now that in some circumstances, which may or may not include this one, because I don't think we know, requires bird-proof glass, but is this?
I actually don't know. I can't answer that because we haven't put out the specs yet with any of the potential fabricators. But if it's required, we certainly will. And I say it that way because the intention of the owners is when this is built, that it's going to have screens on the inside and on the roof so that it will, when there's too much sun out in the world, they will be able to modulate the light, and that will also affect any activity by any birds because the glass looks so different when there's a screen behind both the wall glass and the roof glass.
Would those blinds be manually controlled or automatically controlled by light changes in light conditions?
They would be controlled by a remote control. I don't know if, I haven't talked to them about whether they want to have it be automated in the sense of depending on what's going on with the cloudiness or sunniness outside.
Other questions or thoughts or opinions?
I just, because I want to write the resolution,
Okay.
I want to make sure this is a green, just one forward, a greenhouse. Like,
An extension with glass
It's
facade.
entirely painted in glass on the south and ceiling.
We stuck on walls.
Yeah, it's a greenhouse implies it's generally not
Yeah,
conditioned.
yeah.
So that's why
This is an 11-foot extension.
condition means that it's part of the interior, so you would use like heating systems outside versus something that like
It's not,
like a greenhouse in your backyard.
it's a different temperature.
Yeah, it's not
I
hot.
have another question if I could. Are any of the glass panes operable?
Yes, they are. Let me show
And
you.
is there a door? Well, there wouldn't be a door because you'd plan.
Completely get rid of your kids.
So here's the, so there's 6 operable windows, 6 hopper windows, which, awning windows, which will,
Can you show us where they are on your rendering?
yeah, right, here's one, and here's
You
one,
gotta share screen again.
Yeah, that's.
and up here, so there's 3 high ones and 3 low.
We can't see.
Yeah, can you share your screen again?
Oh, you lost the share. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, are you back in there?
We can see again.
Okay, good. All right, so there are 3 high windows and 3 low windows. So the idea is that you can open the bottom and the top and get airflow from low to high or even high to low in the room, so.
And what sort of windows are that on the floor below? Are those casement or? the
Uh,
ones
those
with
are-
multi-light?
Those are doors.
Oh, they're doors.
Doors.
Julie
on
found it.
Yeah.
Little balcony.
Lovely. Okay, well, this is a modest project, so I don't want to spend. so much time on it.
I was just gonna say, I think it's totally fine. It's not like the most brilliant thing, but considering no one can see it. We have tons and tons of like this glass roof that were, when all of these townhouses got converted to artist studios, like. This argument wasn't made, but to me, it like clearly fits into that model. And because it doesn't impinge on like the garden area or anything, I think you know, not what I would design, but I think it's totally appropriate.
I would agree with you. I think, you know, I don't know if it's an efficient and smart design, but we don't comment on that. So that's not my business. But
Should we recommend a bird-proof glass?
I think we should do that.
I think that would be consistent with what we usually do. in
No,
these sorts of things.
multiple screens, 6 operable windows. It's 11, jumps out 11 feet from the building, but it is part of.
The existing.
It jumps out from that third floor.
Right,
And
and
it's, road with the second.
Also, external solar shading, like, so good, and we need more of it.
yes, stucco on the sides and.
Say that again?
The external solar shading is really important, so it's good that doesn't have.
Mm.
Yes, the most efficient.
Because if you block the sun once it's parting through the window. it doesn't do
Yeah,
anything.
I don't think the plans show that.
He said that there were external,
Yeah, but he didn't say it, but I
Yeah.
think what we've seen does not document that.
Was it both external?
I don't think it needs to be in the resolution.
Again, this is like, from an energy standpoint, I wouldn't want to build that house, but if yes, solar shades does help. But again, we don't comment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying as an architect, like, I would want solar shading.
I think the fact that it, well, except, in peak sun, I think that it would get some shading mix from the big building. That's the.
My assumption is that they want extension, but they don't want to make the 80-bedroom Jennifer. So they're trying to make as much glass as possible, to try to push the light in. So that's my assumption of why they're doing it.
Create a nice, I think it'll create a nice space.
That's, again, it's just sort of,
So the vote is on the resolution as presented with
Yeah.
recommendation for bird-proof glass.
Whether or not required.
Whether or not.
Yeah, okay. That's the resolution. Okay, I'm okay with it. That's fine.
And opposed?
How many votes do I get?
Zero, zero.
No.
You can get as many as 4 then. Right.
So it's 5-1-0-0.
Zero, zero. Okay, and you're on the 19th of November?
Correct, yes.
Okay, we'll bring this to our full board then that, I think it's actually the first Wednesday. of-
Oh, right,
election day.
election.
I
It's
think,
not, it's the day
Oh,
after.
so
Day after.
I was like, we're gonna get.
no,
Just
we'll just, right.
Jesse mentioned the 12th.
Hopefully, we won't go all through it again.
Yeah.
Unless Paige and Jason.
So thank you.
Thank you, John.
And of course, you're welcome to join us on that.
The full board is actually happening November 12th. That's where this will be.
Oh,
Is it-
a week later, the 12th.
Correct.
I'm glad we have you, Marat. Well, I'm glad I'm almost
Yeah, we're
glad.
glad she's.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Oh,
at the 93rd Street.
Is that where, is Joan of Arc or?
It's
Is that Joan of Arc?
no, it's at,
Oh, the,
Advent Lutheran.
Oh, Advent Lutheran, Broadway.
where's that?
Oh, that's.
Broadway and,
Broadway.
I know,
We're desperate for spots.
Broadway and what?
93rd Street.
Do we have the next applicant?
Jessie, do we have our school?
Yes, they're on Marciano Stanco.
Hello.
Well, welcome.
Hi. My name is actually Andrew Dilger. I'm representing my boss, Marciano Stanco, who couldn't make it tonight.
Right.
Could you spell your name for me, please?
Sure. Andrew, last name Dilger, Dilger.
Thank you.
John Dillinger. Okay. Tell us what you got.
So we have 18 West 88th Street in Manhattan. It's the part of the Dwight School. And basically, we are proposing to put on some banners. And I will share my screen if I may.
Are you the architect?
You're the architect, Andrew?
My boss, Marciano Stanco, is the architect.
Okay, good.
You have capability to share your screen.
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
There it goes.
Thank you.
Okay, there we go. All right. So this is the proposed work for Dwight School. The proposed facade, paint and color, and banners. So this is a picture of the existing conditions right now. And what we are proposing to do here is add some banners and paint the facade. The banners will actually feature the artwork of the students that are going to Dwight School. And periodically they will have an award ceremony of, whose artwork goes up onto the facade.
But it'll change X amount of times a year.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It will change X amount of times a year.
Correct.
How often will it change?
Once a year.
What will the material be of the banners?
So here is the brackets that we're going to be used. They're going to be metal, and the banners will be, I believe, fabric.
Are there any banners on the building now?
Yes.
Or I mean, really brackets?
We have this one Dwight School logo, kind of a flag that we're proposing to remove.
Okay. I call that a flagpole.
Yeah.
And how many brackets will you be putting up? 3? 4?
So let's see. So there are actually 4. One on the top, 2 about midway, and then a very small one towards the street.
So currently, the flagpole thing you're removing has a banner that identifies the Dwight School, I think.
Yes.
How would the Dwight School be identified if it would be in the new proposal, minus the current flagpole?
We don't actually have really a way of identifying it currently.
What's on the flagpole now? Oh,
Just wait. And you have several, or the school has several buildings, right?
Yes, sir.
so the building to the left would not be affected by this proposal, is that correct?
Correct.
And can I just ask also the materials of this modern building? I want to ask what those materials are, and is the paint proposal part of what's before us in LPC as well? And if so, what is the paint proposal?
Sure. So we're proposing to paint it white. As you can see in the rendering, it's currently there. It's really 2 materials. One is a smooth concrete, and the other is kind of a rough concrete.
And the current color is what?
So the current color is like a very bland gray.
It's unpainted, right?
Correct.
Unpainted. And would you paint the return? This shows that this juts out farther into the street than, I believe that's what it's showing, than the old red brick building next door. So would you paint the return on the side as well?
Yes.
And what about all that stuff at the top? The 2 recessed floors at the top?
So the 2 floors are also getting painted as well.
It's just called white.
Yes.
So it'll look like this in this picture.
Yeah,
There's a lot of whites out there, right? Aren't there a lot of tones of white?
But this is white?
100.
I don't have the exact name of the color with me.
Okay.
Is that color we're looking at now, is that the proposed color?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's an off-white or really white?
It's more of like an off-white.
What's wrong with the gray?
Other than being ugly, I guess. Something for like. Yeah, I think this will be improvement.
Well, what size are those banners in your picture, in your rendering? And
Yes.
will the banners be that size all the time?
Yes, so the banners are rendered correctly. So they are approximately 2 foot by 8 foot 6, and that smaller one near the street is about 2 foot by 3 foot 2.
How did you settle on that size? Is that a typical sort of flag size? Like, that seems quite large.
It just seemed right for the amount of area of current facade. We really wanted to highlight the students' artwork.
You know, this seems to me like somebody had an interesting idea to highlight the students' artwork, but you're proposing a pretty permanent set of brackets, and I can kind of imagine that after a couple years of this, somebody's gonna get tired of the idea, and then you've got all these brackets and these kind of ratty flags, and then what happens?
Can we see the brackets?
Sure.
Thank you. Well, these are not permanent. Huh.
Yeah,
Oh, they
Yeah,
could.
but still,
they're pretty small.
Yeah, those bulges are nice.
what'd you say?
When you pull them off, you would just have to fill those bolt holes.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
not,
And they're up high, so you wouldn't see them.
Three of them.
Yeah.
it's definitely better than what's now. It's a huge piece.
So you don't have a problem with this kind of banner? Excuse me, bracket.
No, I mean, it's pretty minimal. The one now honestly is much more offensive to me. Brackets aren't my concern. I mean, I don't know, they get to choose what size the flags are. They're quite large, I would say, in terms of scale, but our work's nice, I
Yeah.
guess. It's not like they're doing
No one's
that.
asking how old the kids are.
They're really nice.
Be selective.
Yeah,
We're
but
gonna have a special award ceremony. Are we invited to that?
no, the brackets though, I'm not offended by. I think they're.
Are they, is there a consideration of wind with a banner of that size? Do they have? Are they too narrow to worry about?
I didn't understand that. I'm sorry.
Is there a concern with wind with a banner of that size, or does the narrowness take care of that, or are there flaps in the material, or do you know?
So I believe there will be small flaps just to sort of negate the wind factor. Yeah, I don't foresee it to be an issue.
Let's stay on the category for. No.
I'd really like to know what color white it is. I saw a white brownstone the other day, and it was so shocking. And I ran to the block.
Michelle, whatever white it starts out, and he has, I think he does.
True.
White,
It
it's
will
not
not be
gonna
white.
remain that white
Yeah.
the whole banner.
That's true.
So one time it was covered in ivy.
Yeah, there's some remaining on the Google.
Oh, there's a, yeah, there was some.
No, I'm sure it was damages to facade, which is why they take it off for now.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't recall on your presentation versus the one we saw earlier, seeing in what we received earlier this week from our staff, documentation of the local postings.
Yes.
I just realized now we had no input from anybody in the neighborhood about our prior application, so that's
Right.
done. But
See a couple of signs.
have you
up.
had any input, or have we, Jessie, had any input at all from neighbors about this? I don't know if Jessie's available, but the applicant.
Jessie.
I'm here, I'm listening. I have not received any emails about this project or any other project
Jessie,
on
were the
tonight's
postings
agenda.
adequate?
Say that again?
The postings of this hearing around the building, were they adequate?
I can't hear you too well.
The postings, the notices that were to be publicly posted for this hearing, as far as we know, did they comply with the rules in terms of informing the neighbors that we would be doing it tonight?
I'm not sure. That's something that the committee reviews and lets me know. So everything was posted.
Where were the notices posted?
Yeah, Andrew, do you know?
They submitted their posting, but whether it was
Okay.
adequate or
Okay,
not.
that's what we were asking.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have pictures of all the postings that we did.
It may be that we
Yeah.
got those from you and not the other guys. I think we got them only from one, but not the other. It might have been you guys.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks for that.
The striated concrete was never supposed to be like, this is a material that was never supposed to be painted. Like it's always, its use is not supposed to be painted in terms of like where you see it. That said, in terms of like appropriateness for this historic district, painting it white and then having it turn gray makes no difference from how it is now. Again, another thing where I'd be like, not what I would do, but I don't think this is a big deal, and the banners will be cute and make it nicer, so.
Can we suggest maybe like a gray or like?
Or-
I don't know why they're painting it at all, it's not supposed to be a painted surface, but if they wanna.
We'll see what Landmark says about the paint.
Yeah.
Sometimes they care about that, sometimes they don't.
It's point of view, I do, again, this is not our job,
Yeah,
but it does seem like a challenging choice to paint like the material. on the
You'd have
side.
to be
You have to do a lot of
on it,
maintenance.
yeah,
Yeah,
but that's on them.
Something
but
that.
I'm sure the Dwight School can afford a good maintenance pipeline.
Like I say, if it was
That
me, I would
color?
recommend recladding it in some ES or
Well,
something.
they want some.
You wanna
I agree
propose
with
a
you.
color?
Not propose a color, but maybe say maybe white would be.
But haven't,
I think it's okay. I mean,
I just don't know,
I
like,
assume it's an off-white.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
And it'll
can't
be
think that
weathered
anything's
very-
like more appropriate, like
yeah.
the whole
I mean,
thing
this
is ridiculous.
building obviously is not a contributing building to the historic district.
Right, right.
And it's, I mean, I can think of some that are worse, but not a ton of buildings that are worse in the historic districts that we have, and I'm okay with this. I would vote for it as an
Yeah.
exemption.
Yeah, I don't, I think we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All in favor?
As presented.
As-
Okay, easy resolution.
At 6000. And do you have a date with our friends of Landmarks?
No, I was told to wait for your approval before proceeding to get LPC approval.
Okay, good.
So
Our
we'll
board-
present this
yeah.
to our full board, what, the November?
Well,
Full board is November 12th.
So then, anytime from the 9th, what is it, the 19th onward, for a hearing would be fine. November 19th or subsequent, would be fine with us.
Excellent.
All right, and we thank you for
Thank
coming.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And thank you.
Bye-bye.
Record short meeting.
Okay, so our meeting is on the 12th
We're
at Broadway and 93rd Street.
Broadway at 93rd. Yeah.
Oh, did we approve our agenda? We're supposed to do that.
Oh, yeah. All in favor of the agenda we just had? Okay, great. New business?
It's great if someone, each time we used to do this, someone would walk by, at least one or two people would walk by.
No, you're right. We ought to try harder.
Yeah, I went by today, but,
And
or
thanks,
yesterday.
Michelle's gonna do the resolution.
Yeah, I mean, we would
Yeah,
not have
Michele.
seen the rear facade of the building. that-
Yeah,
there wasn't much
No,
to
they
see.
didn't show us the front either, and I would like to have.
Oh,
I went by,
Oh, yeah.
I walked by and I texted Jessie, I don't see any knock-up on it, we had, we voted on it, because it was originally presented as a administrative issue.
Yeah, which it really isn't. Yeah.
Where would you have seen them?
You wouldn't.
No,
Well,
because
That's what-
you
that's
just
the
saw
thing.
roof and assume that it is,
I
it is
assumed
technically
it is.
on a
Oh,
roof.
that's
Yeah,
true, yeah, I was
but-
looking, it was like setback.
It's
Yeah.
not- not
Yeah,
the
when I
roof.
read the thing. I
Yeah.
thought
But the,
Well,
I mean, I checked it out. The facade is in good shape. I don't think they need.
Yeah, it's very nice.
I don't think they need to do anything.
So I think LPC has we didn't ask them what kind of paint it was, because there's certain paints, I seem to remember there was a building on 104th Street.
By the way, should we adjourn the meeting?
Yes, let.
Here, we're done,
Thank
Jessie.
you.
So, yeah.